Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I thank Hydrogen Australia for inviting me to speak with you, and I'm sorry that I'm not there in person. This video is a poor second for my opportunity to be with all of you and to hear what you have to say. As we move ahead, I note that this meeting is at the right time and the right place. It is the right time because green hydrogen is emerging as a pillar for the decarbonization across the world. Whenever we look at the non-electricity sectors, particularly the hard-to-abate sectors such as steel, such as petrochemicals and so on, hydrogen seems to be the only game in town which is both a fuel as well as non-carbon emitting, especially if you manufacture it from things like solar electricity. And also the right place because you are in Australia. And Australia has all the right ingredients. It is well located. It has adequate amount of sunshine. It has adequate amounts of low cost renewable energy resources. It's got geological storage in case CCS is needed. In other words, green hydrogen is going to take off. The fact that the Australian government is moving towards policies in this direction helps in creating infrastructure for green hydrogen. We have seen that many countries across the world are establishing the infrastructure that is needed for green hydrogen. We note that there are already 43 countries who have either set up strategies or roadmaps for green hydrogen across the world. Now, this is therefore a key technology and a key technology for the future. However, there are challenges. The lack of trained manpower, I believe, is the fundamental challenge. The fact that governments need to put in place policies which push towards the production of green hydrogen, while even the recognition of what is green hydrogen and what is not is important. We also note that there is an underdeveloped infrastructure, particularly as far as the connections are concerned between green hydrogen and the production of green electricity, and then the transport of green hydrogen across the world. And as a result, we see that most of the hydrogen that is produced continues to be from fossil fuels. As we move into the future, I think it becomes necessary for all of us to work towards creating the kind of regulatory infrastructure, physical infrastructure, and bring down the kinds of prices that we see so that green hydrogen can take off in the years to come. At the International Solar Alliance, which is a platform of 114 countries, all of whom get together to see how solar can become the energy source of choice across the world, we have also focused on green hydrogen as one of the key areas where solar electricity can be used. Green hydrogen is important to us, and we are helping a number of countries in creating the green hydrogen roadmaps that are necessary to go ahead. At the last conference of the parties of the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, which occurred in Sharm el-Sheikh last year, we released two reports. One on how do we assess countries for the readiness to move towards green hydrogen. And the second specifically looked at three geographies in Africa. The first was the Mauritania-Morocco geography, the second was the South Africa-Namibia, and the third was Egypt. And in all of these cases, we found that green hydrogen could be produced cost effectively. In fact, in the Morocco-Mauritania case, given the amount of solar electricity that is available or could be available, it makes economic sense to move to green hydrogen today. We feel both for domestic purposes such as steel, such as refineries, but also for export, particularly to Europe. We have therefore launched a number of initiatives. We believe that the adequacy of infrastructure, the adequacy of policy, and the adequacy of international markets becomes important. At the same time, it is important that the cost of electrolyzers decreases and the scale increases. This is important to see how cost-effective green hydrogen can be produced not so far in the future. As we look at all of this, we believe that the readiness that is necessary will be there. We believe that the readiness can be put in by various governments and partner organizations coming together, and consequently bringing together all of these different partners onto the same table becomes an important task for the ISA. During this G20 presidency and the presidencies of India, what we are looking forward is to create a website which brings together all the work that is produced in green hydrogen, whether it is on the production side, whether it is on the utilization side, whether it is about safety and standards, whether it is about how this can be transported. Together with a live chatbot, it is easy to go through this website. We believe that this will bring everybody onto the same page as we move towards putting together the information on hydrogen, and for each country and each organization to move ahead in this case. This Global Center for Excellence for Green Hydrogen, as we are calling it, would become a hub for the availability of information, and therefore for any party to move ahead into the green hydrogen world. It will, amongst other things, help in knowledge dissemination. It will create and help disseminate best practices, and it would also help in creating the networks and partners who are necessary for the entire ecosystem to come together and put also together the standards that are needed for us to move ahead. I want to thank all of you, and particularly Hydrogen Australia, for the invitation to speak at this meeting. Again, I apologize for not being with you in person, and I do look forward to hearing about the stimulating discussions that occur at the conference. Thank you all very, very much.